I like my linked episodes like I like my meat. Gamey. Unity, the company whose brand hasn't exactly screamed ethically upstanding recently, has launched their previously announced AI game dev tools in early access, which are trained entirely on assets Unity owns or has a license to use. This has a benefit of making generative AI more ethical and less likely to trigger expensive copyright lawsuits, which I think is probably more important to Unity. Interestingly, this ethical data set was a bit small, so they enlarged it using Stable Diffusion, which is trained on more ethically questionable content. But hey, trolley problem, am I right? The AI tools are called Muse. I hope they got permission from Calliope and her sisters to use their title.
Oh, James, I'm so sorry, but
What? They're dead? Muse will help devs generate textures, animations, and even code for the low price of $30 a month, and was shown off alongside the upcoming Unity 6 engine, which will launch next year, bundled with the infamous runtime fee that developers can't wait to avoid paying somehow. But what Unity can't seem to avoid is more layoffs based on their recent announcement. In their defense, the company is still losing money, though only half as much as last year. One of these days, they'll start making money, and on that day, they're gonna frame the first dollar they make, and maybe, just maybe, they'll stop laying people off.
start doing lay-ons.
Speaking of layoffs, we now know how many jobs were cut from studios owned by massive studio-owning entity Embracer Group during the second quarter of this year. 900. Confusingly, the layoffs were preceded by a 13% increase in net sales. But layoffs are so hot right now. Former Flash Games all-star Kongregate is cutting over a dozen positions, while Digital Bros Entertainment, owners of Control publisher 505 Games, announced they would be axing 30% of their workforce. According to Digital Bros, both of them I assume, they had no choice. Gamers only want sequels, and that is the actual excuse Digital Bros gave for canning 130 people. But it's not all bad news. Persona dev Atlus announced it will raise its starting monthly salary for new university graduates to 300,000 yen and increase its average annual salary for current employees by 15% next April. This is after the company already raised the average annual salary by 5% this past April. And I know the average Japanese dev does make much less than their US counterparts, but can I please just have one uplifting game industry news story today? Just one.
Domo arigato in advance.
Domo. Oh, Domo Roblox though. Roblox, the online gaming platform for children that has never had a single controversy, has launched Roblox Connect, a feature that will allow users aged 13 and up basically to have FaceTime calls as their Roblox avatars with any old internet stranger they've friended. Thank God Omegle is dead, am I right? Connect was initially announced at the Roblox Developers Conference back in September when they promised to open source the software, a promise they've now followed through on. Unfortunately, the Roblox community doesn't appear to understand the potential here. The top comment on the announcement post is a Roblox dev paraphrasing the immortal words of Adam Jensen. I never asked for this. Apparently, neither did the 278 other people that liked that comment. Another dev pointed out that Roblox may record users' voices using the Connect feature, something Roblox neglected to mention. I mean, they were probably too busy trying to convince designer brands to sell virtual clothing for thousands of real dollars.
Damn, they got Guckies?
Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by AData. Who knows how infuriating it is when your gaming PC's storage is slow, so you have to wait for your game to boot up, and joining a match takes forever, and then your friends get impatient and frustrated because all they want to do is have some good times with the squad. So get back up to speed with AData's Legend 970 SSD. Its PCIe Gen 5 interface handles sequential read and write speeds of up to 10,000 megabytes per second, so you'll be the first in the lobby every time. Unless your friends get one too. Don't worry about it overheating either. The Legend 970's dual layer aluminum alloy heatsink and built-in fan keep it nice and cool. Oh yeah. Learn more about how the Legend 970 can level up your gaming experience today at the link below.
Who's ready for the Quick Bits? I can't hear you! I'm Just Pixels with a pre-recorded video. I'm sorry you found out this way. Modern Warfare 3 devs are experimenting with a new game mode that adds enemy player outlines when aiming down gun sights. Now this might be just a handy new accessibility feature, but some have speculated that might instead be a response to the controversy over last month's introduction of the Gaia skin, a mostly see-through tree person that makes a ghillie suit look like a high-vis vest. Players have called for its removal, but I suppose just highlighting it like the important part of an essay would also work. Veteran BioWare writer and director Mac Walters is starting up a new studio here in Vancouver called Worlds Untold to create IPs with depth and possibility that can't be contained in a single game or even a single medium. So it'll be a game with like accompanying clay sculptures. Sounds pretty ambitious. NFTs? But Walters was a writer for Jade Empire and Mass Effect 1 and lead writer for Mass Effects 2 and 3. And yeah, he was also narrative director for Anthem, but the narrative was the least of that game's problems. The new studio's first game is a near-future action-adventure in a breathtaking world filled with mystery and exploration. And that does indeed sound like a video game. Very exciting.
Especially when you say it like that.
Especially in Vancouver. In a world. More details about the troubled titled Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League have finally come out after its most recent delay, as developer Rocksteady released the first in a series of behind-the-scenes videos. The first installment revealed the map is double the size of Arkham Knight's, while also explaining how the Suicide Squad can traverse it so easily. Turns out, most of them use technology stolen from the Justice League, while King Shark just jumps good. It's simply a perk of never skipping leg day, and being a giant shark man.
My name is Trixie. Just jumps off a building.
Snoop Dogg and his son, or puppy, Cordell Broadus, are launching development studio Death Row Games as an arm of Mr. Dogg's music label. The artist, formerly known as Calvin, has been involved in game development in the past through his Digital Dog, with 4 Gs, mobile game developer. However, the idea here seems to be to give diverse creators a platform to develop and publish games on Fortnite using its Unreal editor.
The most diverse editor.
Of course, Snoop Dogg Jr., who is 26 years old, appears to be the point man on this enterprise, but he doesn't have his own $20 Call of Duty skin, does he? Huh? And Naoki Hamaguchi, the director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, not Afterbirth, that's the next one, has apparently killed off his own cat? Kill off his own cat, okay.
Yeah.
The director modeled a feline in Remake, the previous game, after his real cat. When asked if his cat would make an appearance in the sequel, which I'm calling Afterbirth, Hamaguchi said no, and decided to follow that up by saying he likes to think his own cat died during the previous game's plot. Maybe someone should do a wellness check on the cat. And is it called do we know what it's called? Afterbirth.
Afterbirth. Yeah.
And you should check out our Afterbirth next Tuesday when we bring you more gaming news.